Hey everybody, this is CapNext24 bringing you guys another part of Let's Play Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Anyway, in the last part we found out that our Loftwing is missing, and so it's probably we should check in town. We can talk with this guy, and he'll tell us that he saw it with Groose or Groose's bird or something like that. And the problem is that we can't go through here because he's working on the gate or the path or whatever. Basically what we gotta do, we gotta just talk to a bunch of characters right now, and they'll just direct us various places. Anyways, so what we'll have to do now is we're going to need to go into the Knights Academy. This person here gives us a hint. Yeah, it's dialogue. I don't really care for Zelda games that start. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't care when Zelda games start this way. I really like the Ocarina of Time kind of style of starting, where it's like, okay, here you go, like go get a sword and a shield, and then you're off on your way. Or even the original Legend of Zelda style, where it's like, it's dangerous to go alone, take this. And, anyway, we gotta run downstairs, and amusingly enough, while we sprint indoors, we actually only do like a slow jog. Because I guess this game's Pokemon, you just can't run in buildings. Although I think you can do that now. I remember, well, the most time I've spent playing Pokemon games was 3rd generation, where God forbid you go walk fast in walking pace in anybody's house. Because, you know, nobody ever does that in their own house. We can talk with this guy. This is kind of a seemingly sketchy character. It's like as if he knows something, but he's actually just like nervous all the time. Like if we try to go away, he's like, Link, hey, no, actually, I'm afraid of people. I'm allergic to social life. So yeah. Anyway, now we can go out here. Hopefully I haven't missed some character to talk to. Wouldn't that be awful? Okay, I haven't. So now we can... I think that's so cool when he sprints, like, downhill. We can go into town. And, oh. Something about dashing and rolling. Yeah. Basically, if you, spin with your, nunchuck, and then dash, or, you dash and then spin your nunchuck, you'll roll. Maybe I'll do it every once in a while for, you know, the fun of it, because I love good old Legend of Zelda rolls, but honestly, dash has been doing just fine. Anyway, if we go over here, we find these really sketchy characters, like, it's like some tool and like his 2 cronies or whatever. And I mean, obviously they're up to no good. If you look at this guy's so creepy. He's really full of himself too, but like honestly, if I lived in like, you know, some place with this guy like Link has to, I think I'd probably like do some research to check if he's like a child molester, because this guy just gives me the creeps. I hope I don't have to put up with him more throughout the storyline, like significantly more. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be that typical thing where suddenly by the end of the story he's earned respect for me. As far as I'm concerned, this guy just is Gary, if we're making Pokemon analogies of how you can't, you know, run indoors. I'm gonna probably go on all sorts of stupid tangents about that. But anyway, he's talking about our bird or whatever, and he's like, oh, I can't imagine what could have happened to him. I mean, clearly he did something wrong. So, now it's just gonna be some smack talk. His hairstyle almost makes me think of like Snooki or something. It's so absurd from this angle. And then Zelda comes to save the day because Link can't talk. So, Yeah, so she's basically just gonna get upset at him. Meanwhile, his thought process is like, Zelda is a girl. A girl. Zelda is a girl. And then he's like, I don't know. Skips away or something. Seriously, what the heck is that? Now Zelda's like, maybe they had something to do with your Loftwing being missing. Like, really? I couldn't figure that out, you know? I mean, my Loftwing's missing, and these guys have a reasonable motivation for my Loftwing to be missing, because that means I can't possibly win the race against him. So, you know, maybe something's up. Whatever, Zelda's gonna go and, like, look for our Loftwing. Meanwhile, what we can do is we can head back, and finally, we can actually get our sword, which is pretty cool. When I was doing this on a separate file, it took me way longer than I feel it should have. Like, because I'm like, oh great, I need to talk to people. Who even are these people? So I was just running around, not really accomplishing much, and it took me like 20 minutes to do what I just did in 7, whatever. We can come over here. We can talk to this guy. He's like, hey Link, I heard your Loftwing has gone missing, so I thought I'd join the search. And then this nervous guy is like, they said they'd beat me up and take my lunch money if I said anything. Actually, I think the exact thing he says is they'd make sure I could never fly again. Something like that. Anyway, as soon as this conversation ends, we can do something a little more interesting than talk to more NPCs. Apparently our Loftwing is hidden by the waterfall, and now we're going to learn how to use the map. So what you do is you press plus, and that's really it. So, you know, we are... Why is my... Okay. Yeah, I don't know why my remote's being all loopy. We are here, and the waterfall is there. That's actually about it, to be honest. Maybe this thing needs to be recalibrated already. Anyway, we can go in here. This is a sparring hall, so this is pretty cool. Because he tells us we can go and borrow a sword in the back room. So we go right back here and open the chest. I'm a little sad that they changed the tune up so much. I mean, I'm probably saying it's still like the same tune, but it sounds really different. So, whatever. I'll deal with it. But we can pull it out. We can run around like this if you know, are holding your Wii remote up. You can also go like, hear ye, I am the town crier. Anyway, joking around aside, you can ask this guy to teach us how to use the sword, which can be pretty helpful. Basic stuff of... I mean, you attack like how you would attack. I kind of wish they'd done Twilight Princess like this back in the day, but, you know, whatever. I can deal, and then Z-targeting. I mean, combat's the same, except that you know, have to, like, move your arms, God forbid, actually, maybe burning a calorie or two while gaming. But, so there's a couple of these logs we can slash. So we can do that. This one, I believe, needs to be stabbed, or thrusted, as they call it. This one is a, there we go, upward slash like that. This one's an upward slash in the other direction. Maybe I should get a little farther away. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe this Wii Remote's not quite so calibrated. That really shouldn't be happening. There we go, it's about time. This one... Vertical slash, there we go. But the cool thing is that the instructor teaches us how to do a spinning attack, so I guess what you do is you like move the nunchuck and the Wii Remote at the same time. Well, I noticed doing like kind of like a Mr. Miyagi sort of thing with the Wii Remote alone sometimes works too. And then it also teaches us the fatal blow, or final blow, whatever it's called. So this is pretty cool actually. It's I think it was like the first skill you learn in Twilight Princess, but like let's say as you Z target onto something that's like on the ground, you just lift the nunchuck and Wii Remote, move them both upwards, and then you do the final blow. Or the fatal blow, whatever it's called. That's pretty cool. Oh, let's get out of here. Hey Link! You can't take swords out of the sparring hall! Yes, we can. And of course, naturally, makes an exception for this. So that's fine by me. I still want to know if there's a way to calibrate this Wii Remote. So feeling... Well, I'm just swinging around randomly now, but let's see. Alright, that's good enough. Oh yeah, and then there's this log. This is fun to mess around with. You can just hit it and it'll probably hit you back like in the face. Like such. I don't know if there's a way to actually destroy that log. But, anyway. That's not really the point right now. What we need to do right now... I think he said we're not supposed to, like, swing around the sword because only knights are supposed to have it. And I do recall, first thing I did as soon as I left that place is I swung around the sword like an idiot. Oh yeah, and now we get an introduction to Sheikah stones. Something like that. I don't know. Which is basically like the same thing they did in Ocarina of Time. Or those little entrances or whatever in Ocarina of Time 3D. Is what I meant to say. They'll give you like hints. Like even, I think, video-based hints. If you're stuck. So that's pretty cool. I do recall that in Ocarina of Time I never really had to use them though. And hopefully I won't have to use them in Skyward Sword either, but that's probably not going to hold quite so true. I'm going to use one eventually just out of curiosity. Now that we're around here we can maybe slash up some grass for some rupees. We got a green rupee! We're so rich, guys! Right. So we can dash along here. And there's the waterfall kind of in the distance. So we just do some basic platforming and huzzah, we're basically here. And you can mess around with these trees along the way. I found this to be way more fun than it should be. You just slash things like an absurd amount of times. Oh great, Link's tired. But I guess Link gets some like mystical feeling that maybe my Loftwing's there. Maybe we should go in this cave, so okay, I think that's enough destruction of wooden posts. This is like the first little introduction to dungeons. I mean, it's just a basic cave. And the enemies here are pretty mindless, like you can just swing your sword like an idiot and you'll be fine. Especially these things. Vertical slashes seem to work best on them. I'm guessing they're supposed to be shoes. And the other things, you know, the bats are just these. And you gotta sprint all the way up that. I guess it also wants to introduce you to the concept of ramps. I don't know if these things can damage you. Or, well, how much damage they'll do, because they sure didn't damage me when I was going through here. These enemies are like, I'm gonna give you 20 seconds to react. If you don't hit me, I might strike. I think it's interesting that you start with 6 hearts, though, because that's a lot more than the usual 3. I'm not quite sure what the purpose for that is. Maybe because with it not being button-based controls anymore, maybe they thought people would struggle to level more. Oh, I guess that does half a heart of damage. Oh, the more you know. I probably just shouldn't waste my time on that thing. We can just sprint out of here now. And here we are on the other end of the waterfall cave. Before we progress onwards, oh yeah, here's the hearts. I think they're growing on flowers. Before we progress onwards, these things are save points, these bird statues, and I think I'm going to save for now. So, basically what I mean is I'm going to end off this episode here. So if you liked it, please rate, comment, subscribe, send it to your friends, check out my other ones. And I will see you guys next time with another episode.